In this episode, Ian and I have a really honest conversation about what it's like owning a puppy when you're neurodivergent. We talk about routines being disrupted, sensory overload, emotional support, and the surprising lessons that come when you're suddenly responsible for a creature who needs you to be the calm one. So whether you're considering getting a pet, already deep in the chew toy trenches, or just curious about how something small and fluffy can completely unravel and rebuild your nervous system, stick around. This one's for you. Okay, so something Mum actually said to me earlier, she's like, please don't take offense at this, but you know, people with ADHD, they have hobbies and habits and things like that, and they get into it and they make it their entire world, and then they move on to something else. And I was like, yeah. And she said, do you think the dog is your new hobby so you don't have to do your schoolwork? And I was like, I see where you're coming from, and the timing may not have been opportune, and I may have not been thinking realistically because I overestimate my Crocodile Dundee abilities with animals. But right decision. It's not to avoid doing schoolwork, but she is certainly giving me a run for my money right now, and you're absolutely right. She's supposed to be helping me with my ADHD, and I think I've got an ADHD dog. And when we received her, Rachel, who is the breeder that she came from, did say it's like a rule of 3. So within 3 days, she'll be bonded to us. Within 3 weeks, she'll kind of be used to her surroundings and really kind of like settling in. And within 3 months, our home is her home, right? But she's also teething. So we've got a cat that's terrified of big dog energy because Huxley was always like a fucking clown with her. So she's super suspicious and is terrified anytime the dog actually like gets puppy energy. And if they're in an enclosed space together like a hallway, like it is just like literally fighting like cats and dogs. So now the puppy is terrified to walk anywhere in the apartment on her own, just in case the cat's lurking. She didn't want to eat because the cat would sit around the corner and just stare at her while she's eating. So I took her food. Saga, yeah, don't go over there. The cat's up there. But that was good that she just told you to go away instead of attacking you. I know, Hemingway's your friend, but he's not going to help you right now. He's sleeping. Come on. You've got toys. Just come over here and sit where it's safe. Saga, come and sit where it's safe. Anyway, we should have confined her immediately, but she got such bad separation anxiety. We didn't. Major mistake. Thankfully, we've got... Hey! He's gonna kick your ass and she's gonna come after you. Come. Here now. Come on. Come get your stuff. It's like having children in the house. So yeah, so she's terrified to walk anywhere, and then she doesn't like the noises outside because she came from the country, so she's just getting used to the city sounds. And basically everybody in this neighborhood has a pit bull or a husky, and I know you have a husky and you may take offense to what I'm saying right now, but huskies don't tend to like other dogs. They're quite avoidant in general, and my experience with Huxley is the biggest beefs he ever had were either with huskies. Saga, come. You want to show Ian who's making all this noise?
Hello.
This is my service animal. This is the beast that is supposed to support me when I have panic attacks, when I forget to take medications. She just saw the microphone and is like, is that something else that I can eat?
Yes. Energy.
She is. She's going to get her ass handed to her by both of the cats in a minute. He knows one's hiding around the corner spying on her.
I wouldn't say that huskies don't like other dogs. They're just very selective. I mean, Isabel is... If it's golden retrievers and Labradors, she's all over them. They're her best friends. She has such a connection with... And I don't know why, because, I mean, it's different ones. It's not a specific dog. Smaller dogs she's indifferent with. Unless a dog is having a go at her, she will ignore it. So, yeah, they've got their own temperament. I mean, as you said there with an ADHD dog, I mean, huskies are very much an autism dog. It's guaranteed routine. She will whine. As soon as she's eaten, that's it, she wants to go out. She needs to go out. As soon as she's done that, she's left half of her food because she's thinking, well, everyone else is going to eat in a minute and I'm going to get some of that. As soon as our food comes out, she will sit there stamping her foot and tapping her foot. If you're eating too slow, it's tapping her foot and saying, you know, where's mine? And then afterwards, if she wants to go out, she'll actually come right up in your face and sit there and just stare. So it's very much a dog of routine.
I mean, I'm hoping she will get into a routine. She definitely knows when it's food time. She is able to let us know when she needs to go outside. Usually, like, the chewing gets more intense and she's just, like, insane. And there's no distracting her. She's distracted right now. Because the cat comes in the bedroom, she won't go in the crate because the cat hid in the crate. So when she went to go into the crate to get something, the cat attacked her. So we're having to, like, reintroduce her to the crate and get rid of her apprehension with that. And then the other cat was in there, which she didn't mind too much. But then Harper came into the room. Hemingway chased Harper. Like yesterday, I had a standoff where Hemingway ran in the middle of them and Harper was staring at Saga and Hemingway was staring at Harper. He's getting a bit more feisty with her. Hemingway doesn't like bullies. And even though it took him and Huxley 2 years to, like, actually get to like each other, in the end, they were just, like, BFFs and they'd snuggle up together on the dog bed and they'd, like, chill out. And when Huxley was afraid of fireworks and would sleep by the front door, Hemingway would go there with him and cuddle up with him and stuff. So it was really sweet. So we kind of knew he'd be somewhat chill, probably a little overwhelmed with the energy because he was with Huxley's. But yeah, Harper's like something else entirely, man. She's just like evil and she stalks the dog. She stalks her to be like, okay, when can I get you next?
I think part of that might be the hierarchy.
Oh yeah, totally.
Obviously, one of them is the top cat in the house.
Oh yeah, she thinks she's the... Yeah.
Well, yeah. She thinks she's probably next in line for top cat. But then another animal's been introduced and suddenly it's, you know, where do things sit in the pecking order? Because, I mean, that used to be a thing with the dog and the children, was that, obviously with the older ones, it was slightly different. There was a different relationship there. But with the younger one, Isabel would sit and stare and watch, you know, trying to figure out where in the dynamic was her place and what was her spot in there. And I think, you know, dare say that there's a level of jealousy that came with her. As the girls got older,
absolutely.
You know, very different story. So,
yeah, and we do recognise that Harper's afraid because it's scary for her, but she's also a little bit fearless as well. And I think she's a little bit of an OCD cat, so she likes everything to be law and order. Oh, there she is, hissing at the dog right now. Harper, come on, get down. Saga, it's okay. You're safe. Go on, get down. Look, she'll be like, yeah, no, I'm not moving. I'm just sitting here. Harper, can you not be an arsehole, please? We've tried doing some positive interactions up close. I know a lot of people within the community hate ABA. I spent 11 years working in an ABA environment. So for me, I'm definitely like behavior reward. We've tried doing some positive reinforcement because the cat listens to the buttons that I bought. I tried to teach the cat to talk with buttons. She kind of listens to the buttons. She knows what the buttons mean. She sometimes presses them accidentally, but generally speaking, look, the dog just left the room and she's already like security guard. Like, where the F did she go? I'm probably going to have to go and like avert a crisis in a moment. Harper, come on. Come here, what's this? I'm going to bribe you with snacks. Here. I'm going to give you your favourite treat for no reason at all. This is I'm not doing advertising, but this stuff, oh my God, cat crack. Watch this in a minute. Let's see if she'll come up. Can you come up here? I don't know. Oh, she's there. I don't know if you can, see here, but she's, can you see her?
Yeah.
This is like, it's the only thing this cat goes crazy for. She's jealous of Hemingway's diabetic food. So she won't eat her own food because she's like, no, I want that diabetic shit. But yeah, we tried doing some positive face-to-face reinforcement where I give the cat her favourite treats and then get as close as possible to the dog. So they're somewhat face-to-face, but now the dog hides her face or, like, runs away behind us. The other problem she's having out on the street is because she's so fuzzy, everybody wants to stop and stroke her or say hello. And she's just like, who the F are all these people? And why do they want to touch me? So she's a bit freaked out by that too. And then all these big pit bulls keep barking at her. So... yeah, I don't want her to be so terrified that she's averse to meeting people or becomes reactive. So anyway, it's a lot of hard work and it made me realise that I would have been a terrible parent. I just don't have the energy for it. Like, oh my goodness. I know a dog is not a kid, but like... I don't know how people cope with children needing shit for, like, ever. Like, dogs tend to mature a little bit quicker and become a little bit more manageable.
It depends on the type of dog. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, I mean, huskies are like having a 2-year-old right up until they're very, very old. And because they are escape artists, it's like having to have eyes in the back of your head at all times.
I have to pick this little bugger up and carry her places so that we can actually, like, walk back. Because she doesn't want to leave. She's got... Harper, no. That's just such a dick move. Go on. No. Go on. Nope. She put herself out of the way and you're just being an arsehole now. Go. Oh, I've got a puppy nipping my toes. This cat, like, trying to get down there so she can go and jump on her and, like, hiss at her. Go. Be a good girl. Thank you. Don't eat my toes. You don't get treats if you're an arsehole. She's sniffing now because she's like, that was delicious. I want more treats. No. You can only have treats if you're nice to the dog. Yeah. She doesn't want to even leave the front of the building until she's done her business. So trying to go on a walk with her is impossible because then as soon as she's done her business, she's like, okay, I've seen enough of the outside. And it's like, no, kid, you've got way too much energy. Let's do this. So I have to carry her till we get to a point where she'll actually, like, walk. And then coming back, she just wants to run the entire way back. Definitely an ADHD dog. She's fucking mental.
Get a tracker for her.
When I was kind of clearing off the doggy's clothing peg near the door, Huxley's stuff was still hung up there. So as I was taking it down, his leash was still there, and I was like, you know what? Let me try this leash, because she has this like nylon, like 2-foot thing that's just impossible. So I put Huxley's leash on her, and it's been absolutely awesome because it's leather, so she can't chew through it. Mm-hmm. I've got more control. And when Huxley went to behaviour school for 3 weeks, that's the first thing they did, is switch his leash out. And they're like, we do this with all our clients. You got to have a leather leash. It's like a thinnish one, like 3/4 inch. But they're like, leather leash, never an extendable, don't mess about with nylon, leather leash. And it's phenomenal. Ooh, she's chewing my folder, but maybe she'll go to sleep. Yeah, little head down there. Don't eat that paperwork. I don't know what it is. Brian raised a good point that she's either going to force me to be tidier, or I'm going to have to play a very quick shell game with my belongings, because I'm constantly like moving things because she's picking it up, and then she'll like jump on the side and like drink my tea, or like steal something that she thinks is fun.
Yeah, you have to be careful.
Oh, God. This has turned into a doggy venting session. It's not a doggy venting session, but yeah, this is how my service animal training is going so far. She's got me, like, whipped. We have figured out the overnight, so she can actually, like, as long as we get her out close-ish to midnight, after 11 p.m., she can get through till, like, 6:30 without needing to go out. But also, as soon as she wakes up or as soon as she gets lively, she has to go. So you've got to, like, carry her the entire way. Brian's had a couple of occasions where he's come back in and been like, she shit in the hall, or she peed. I'm like, how? How did she do that? And he was like, well, I was taking her. It's like, dude, you can't take her. She doesn't have the bladder strength right now. Like, we're just getting to the point where she can, like, really signal. Like, if she starts barking at me, I know she needs a shit. Huxley used to do that too.
Yeah, I mean, Isabel has her own little tells. Like I said, you know, she needs to go out, she'll walk to the patio door, and then she'll walk back and stare at you, and then walk to the patio door, and then come back and stare at you. She's wanting to go out for a walk, she'll sit there and just stare. She'll sit right in front of you and stare. Oh, sloth. Yeah. But the one that is probably the most worrying and means jump up and sort that now is if she runs out of water in a water bowl, she trots out and walks towards the downstairs. So it's like, because she knows that's where the sink in there is where her bowl normally gets filled in. But it's always a case of, if she's going down there, is she going to drink from the toilet? And then it's like, no, check her bowl's empty. So she's really good at indicating. We're going through a bit of a phase at the moment where the only person she wants to take her out for a walk is me. And we'll have to record it, because when she decides she's not going, first she tries to hide under a blanket, and then while she's laid down, she'll crawl across and under my arm and try and get in behind my back to hide. So we've deceived her a few times where if she's thought it's me that's taking her for a walk, I've got up and put her lead on and then handed it off. And look, I get. But she's smart because she figures that stuff out, and she knows the next time you're not going to catch me out with that one. So. Yeah,
absolutely. She's finally asleep on my feet. Let's see how long that lasts until the cat comes in and starts sniffing her. The cats are very good at telling us they need water. Hemingway will come and stare at me. So if he's sitting in front of me staring at me, he can't meow. His meow is quite pathetic. But if he's trying to meow at me, I know he's like, hey, the water, and when I stand up, he'll run to the hall and then he'll go and sit in front of the water bowl. It's like, oh, thanks, bud, and I'll go fill the water up. We have a water bowl for her, and immediately the cats were drinking out of that and she was drinking out of theirs, which we need to, that's where some of the Harper fights happen. So if they're going to share a water bowl, they need to learn to get along. But that one's one of those filtration ones that recycles the water, so it's always flowing. But yeah, they jump in the bath and start licking the tap, which is another indication.
Yeah, she's not. Yeah, she'll be okay. I don't know. I mean, the interesting animals. I mean, another thing that Isabel will do is she will only have treats on the carpet in the living room. Because a few times before, to get her out or to get her into another room, when her crate was in the other room, and she was refusing to go, it was kind of like try and be deceptive by offering her treats in the kitchen, because then you could close the living room door on the other side so she couldn't run back in. And now she's like, no, if you're offering me treats in the kitchen, it's because something's wrong, and I will only accept them in this place where I've got... So, yeah, Huskies are extremely smart.
Yeah, they sound very stubborn like pit bulls. Huxley, when he was at behaviour school, right, they couldn't use the normal treats. They had to cut up turkey breast and cheese and give him, like, high-value treats just for the normal shit, because Huxley, I tried doing that with him, and he soon learned. He was just like, yeah, no, I'm not your monkey, and this ain't your circus. And he'd be like, just turn his nose up at them. But he eventually became somewhat trainable. She's very treat driven, so we just take like whatever the calories are out of her food and give her like her kibble as part of her treats. And then the fine people out on the streets keep stopping to give me advice, like, oh, you should have a clicker. I do have a clicker, like, with teeth marks in it and a wristband missing. So what she thought of your damn clicker. But no, I did do this morning. I did 5 minutes of clicker training with her. And I did 5 minutes of verbal button pressing. I'm trying to like get her to press her name right now. And the other day when Amel was here, Amel saw the buttons and she was giggling, and I pressed, like, because we've got Hemingway on there, and I was like, who's your friend? And she went and pawed him, and me and Amel were like, did we just see that interaction where she like understood and went and that? And then yesterday I was like, I pressed the buttons again and I was like, who's your friend? And she went and sat down next to him. So it's like, oh, she knows. So I'm like, okay, there's a word there now that we can use when we're introducing people or we're introducing dogs and things, where we can use that word to try and reassure her. I escort her around the house, sometimes on the leash, and tell her she's safe, like as she's walking by the cat, because I get in between them and be like, okay, it's safe, right? So I'm trying to like give her just like one word prompts to try and chill her out, because I've had a dog with major anxiety and reactivity, and he was a beast. I loved him, but like, my God, was he hard work right up until the end, because there was always that fear that he was going to react, right? And I don't need that. I'm reactive. I need my dog to calm me down. That's the point of me having a service animal. I don't need her to be like overly anxious. So I'm going to see if I can get her in for the puppy class at the behaviour school I like this weekend, and then see if they'll let me do another weekend or two, because they usually do up to 16 weeks and she's like 15 or something. I'm going to see if they'll let me sneak in for a couple of weeks. I'll tell them that she's Huxley's protege. I didn't know what to say then, because she's not his replacement, but his protege, and see if they'll give her a little bit of a couple of weeks for me to go to those puppy greeting classes and stuff with the basic manners and everything, because it'll be good for her. But she does sit. I can get her to sit outside and wait at the street and stuff, but then when she's got it in her head that she wants to be somewhere, she's all about running in between the cars and shit, which has got to stop. She wants to poop under the cars. It's no, that is not where we're learning to poop, because all we need is for somebody to turn an engine on and move.
Yeah.
Not safe.
I remember I took Isabel to classes when she first arrived, and they did a thing. So, for the very first class, you left the dog with them for a couple of hours. And that's where, because they're not around anyone that's familiar, they're focused, and that went really well, to a point where I think, she didn't know what hit her. I mean, she was well trained anyway, but, there was a lot of stuff that was new because she was a rescue. But then for the next few hours, that's when I went back, and it was... And yeah, the moment she saw me, and the trainer was like, don't interact with her, because, we're keeping that going. And after that day, and again, this is where the smarts come in, it was a lot of work at home to train her. But the second I turned up there, the obedience kicked in. And they were like, she's absolutely phenomenal. She does exactly as she's told. She does this, she does that, she does the other. And it's like, not home. She realises that, are you going to leave me here again for a few hours? I better just do as I'm told. I think the one thing with Huskies I find is that it's always about compromise. And we get on so much better if there's a compromise there. So... in the morning, we've had... the first couple of years, she was terrified of fireworks. Absolutely terrified. She'd be in the bathroom, in a corner, just finding somewhere to lay down, shaking. Now it's more of an inconvenience. Yeah. Now it's more of an inconvenience. It's now, I don't like this. I'm going off to, find her own room where she's not having to listen to it. Couple of times, because we often get a few fireworks going off. It's the druggies that kind
Mum
of
says the same thing.
Choice.
Yeah, we've got the goods in.
Yeah. So there's been a few times where I've said to her about, stay in. If I've gone to the patio or something, and I'm saying to her, no, stay in, and she's like, I'm not going to listen, I'm going to go outside. And then suddenly some firework goes off, and it's like, yep. And she'll give a stare as if to say, did you do that? So she's got a bit... Yeah, as I said, she's not over it. It doesn't terrify her as much. She just finds it really annoying. We went out... I think that...
Go on, sorry.
I was going to say, I think that they're doing some roadworks or something nearby, but she's refusing to go to the park now because she can hear, and it does sound like fireworks when they're doing that. So on the morning, she prefers her other route, which was one of the first routes I used to take her. But we know as soon as we get out the gate, wherever I'm going, if she's wanting to take the other route, the first thing she does is sits down, because it's right by the road, and she sits down, and it's like she's waiting for the traffic. It's like, no, we're going this way, and she will just stare, and it's like, no, we're going this way.
Oh, and this one already does that. She's like, I'm just going to sit here and look at things going by until you realise that we're going this way.
Yeah, so, and then
I can see her...
I was going to say, and then that's it. She'll have a good walk, but yeah, she kind of chooses where she wants to go for her walks now.
Yeah, this one is... I can see her herding things coming out in the way that she's trying to, herd the nice cat right now, but also, when we're out on the street, she likes to stop see who's coming from behind, and when they go past, she runs by. And then if she sees people coming up, she stops, she sits down, right? So I can see her like really taking in the ebb and the flow of people. She's a little better now at just like continuing past people and things, but it's, yeah, and she's got all this energy, but she doesn't want to go anywhere that can burn it. But we're going to have to figure that out. And we spoiled her the last weekend because we took her to Brian's parents' house and we're in the garden. And she was having a great time digging in the mud and making herself little sleeping holes. She was digging through all these rocks and things that we've got in the garden. And they're on top of these wood chips. And the snakes have decided for a couple of years to make that their like winter hibernation base because of the wood chips and stuff. And now with the rocks, it's even more sheltered. And she's trying to get through gaps in the rocks. And I'm like, any minute now, she's just going to come out of there with a freaking snake in her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Huxley grabbed a groundhog one day and basically it was like game over in about 5 seconds. I was mortified. I was like, that was the moment I realised my boy was a killer.
Yes.
Saga. And then Brian, I was like, he's trying to play with it. I'm like, Brian, just go and get it. Just throw it away. Just get it right. So he throws it over the wall and then Huxley's like, can I go get it? Like, oh my God. But yeah, she had a great time in the garden, just like digging holes and snuffling through mud and stuff. So she definitely likes the countryside outside. I think the city's going to be a little longer than I thought it would for her to adjust, but we'll see. You know, it's time.
Well, I mean, Annabelle's quite. I mean, she can't catch squirrels; they're too fast for her. But smaller rodents, no problem. We had a bird. I think it was a starling nest had fallen out of one of the trees, and there was a baby starling on the ground, and she actually picked it up in a leaf in her mouth, trotted into the house, and handed it to me. So just put it on my knee, still alive. And we did put it in a little box, tried to nurse it, and then read up on, you should put it back as close to the nest as you can, so that it could hear its mother or its calls for its mother. But in all honesty, I think cats got it when we did that. I did put it on a table in a box and tried to make it as secure as I could, but yeah, it was no good. And then another time where she came in with something and decided to drop that as a present, and it was a live mouse. But then I think the hunter instinct finally got in, because I remember one time going out and she'd got all of her toys, because I mean, again, the autistic dog side is she'll take her toys outside and she will line them up. So, and I went out to, see what she was playing with, and she'd got 3 dead mice in a line alongside her toys. So,
delightful. Yeah, the cats don't bring us gifts, but when we get the odd mouse in here, and it's been a lot better since we've had both the cats. But Huxley was a pretty good mouser as well. His thing, though, was he'd just like stamp on them with his big massive paws and not always kill them, but definitely maim them, which was always really tragic. Brian is convinced it's Harper that kills the mice. I'm convinced it's Hemingway, because he was an outside cat and had to survive out there. And even though he looks really lazy, he's definitely got killer instincts. I think she just like plays with stuff, but then she's good at catching bugs, so maybe it is her. But we either find them dead or being played with in the bath, which is good times. Whereas Huxley just used to like chase them and stamp on them. I don't know about Saga yet. We'll find out. We'll see what happens when she figures out that she can dominate the cat if she needs to. All right, moving on. How was the Diversity Awards last week?
It was interesting. It was good. So, yeah, there was lots of reward and recognition for neurodiversity within that.
All right. Oh, so I'm going to stop for now. Thank you for those insights. I'm really excited about sharing this episode. Thanks for listening to Unlabelled and Limitless, where we hold space for stories that challenge norms and celebrate neurodivergent voices. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need to hear it. And if you're feeling generous, leave us a rating or review. It helps more people find their way to these conversations. We've got more real talk coming your way soon, so please don't forget to follow or subscribe wherever you're listening. And until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and remember, you don't have to fit into a box to belong.